Hey everyone, so today I thought I'd make an update on the whole father and son blanket video conversation with some new updates that have come out about the family, as well as some more responses from the mother herself. One of these updates includes the dad supposedly getting fired from his job as a football coach, which we'll talk about right after you subscribe to the channel, which I can see you're already doing, and that makes me so proud. That was a joke, by the way. I'm fully aware that statistically, if you're not subbed already, you probably aren't subscribing now. I see you. You think you're so clever, don't you? But I won't fall for this sick game again. So subscribe now! Alright, let's talk about this guy losing his job, shall we? Or volunteer position, as we'll soon find out. I guess very quickly before this, you should probably go watch my previous video on this situation if you haven't already for whatever reason, but you're watching this one. It makes my thoughts pretty clear on the whole situation. I got some comments which I would love to talk about in this video as well, but maybe we'll get to that after we go through all the updates. Now, the actual evidence of this bloke losing his job is actually rather hard to find, so big up to Married to a Lunatic for providing us with this video.
On the husband whose wife walked in recording while he is under the blanket with his stepson. Everyone who watched this video was immediately suspicious about what this man was doing to his stepson. Instead of addressing people's concerns, this mom was liking the comments where people said that they were suspicious that the mom knew that the abuse was going on. We now know that the police are investigating.
I don't think we do know that the police are investigating. I think we know they visited the house at least once, and then they questioned some of the children. I don't know if they ever questioned the kid that was actually in the video, though. Because when the mother brings it up in her response video, she talks about how when they asked about that kid, she said, oh, they're a grown man, they're 20 years old, and then they laughed about it, and then the police left. So I don't know if that guy ever actually got questioned, which, I don't know, I feel like it's a bit of a blunder on the police's part if that is the entire reason why they were sent over to their house. But as far as I'm aware, there aren't any investigations going on currently, at least legally. But yeah, we talked about her liking that one comment in the last video. It's just completely unhinged. And for the record, and this is something we'll get into later, I don't think that if the worst is true and this dad is actually essaying his son, that the mum is in on it at all. Purely because I genuinely have no idea that, like, there's no reasonable justification to upload that video if she thinks that her husband is having sex or engaging in some sort of sexual activity with his own son. Like, why on earth would she ever upload that for millions of people to see, or potentially millions? I'm sure she did not expect it to go that viral. But you wouldn't even upload that for one person to see. So if that is what's going on, I'm pretty comfortable in saying that the mother has no idea about it. That doesn't justify her response videos at all. It definitely does not justify liking that comment. So I wouldn't take the liking of the comment on her part as some sort of admission of guilt. I think it was just a really stupid attempt at irony or like a jovial response to the situation. I don't think it was her trying to subliminally tell people, oh yeah, that is what's going on right now, actually. Yeah, my husband is fucking my son. That's what's happening, man. If you disagree, that's totally fine, but I hope you can see where I'm coming from when I say that, like. Again, we'll talk more about that later on, though.
All y'all can do is just keep reaching and continue to do that, because all you guys are doing is making our pages more popular. Thank you for that. Y'all go into all this ranting on social media, y'all go contact all the organizations I deal with as far as dealing with kids, all that kind of stuff. Nothing.
We are now getting press releases from the school where this husband works as a football coach.
Okay, so let's actually read this. Someone sent an email, supposedly, to this bloke's football coach organization, I guess, and they responded promptly, I think, with this email here. Thank you for bringing your concerns to our attention. We appreciate your diligence in ensuring the well-being of the community and the integrity of our organization. Please be advised that upon being notified of the situation by the administration, we met with our board of directors to conduct a thorough review of the matter. We have made the decision to separate from Mr. Wolfgram, effective immediately. Our organization operates under a strict code of conduct that all volunteers must adhere to. The nature and level of public attention surrounding this matter has created a significant distraction that is inconsistent with our mission. Our first and most unwavering priority is the safety and well-being of the children in our care. We strive to maintain an environment where blah blah blah. You get the idea, right? I can't quite read the rest. I've not got my specs on.
Of this video and the way that this husband and wife have chosen to respond to people's concerns is not only under investigation, but he has now lost his job as a coach.
You know what? I'll give my opinion in a second. I do want to cover the whole story first, though, because they have responded to this accusation that the dad has lost his job. So someone left a comment. Is it true that he got dismissed from volunteering as a coach? To which TNC, the account themselves, responded with psych and a bunch of laughing emojis. So essentially him completely denying the allegation that he has lost this job, which is so funny because what that comment there is more genuine denial than he ever did for the actual accusation of SA, which he never explicitly denied. I find it so interesting that he finds the accusation that he got fired, it's so pertinent that he denies that one, but the actual SA allegation, or wearing a glove, glove or saying that he better take that. Now, there's no need to deny that, but this takes precedence over that, for sure. I can't have people thinking that I got fired from my volunteer work as a coach. I'd much rather people think that I essayed my son. Which, yeah, that's another thing that, just a wee correction, it's pedantic, I know, but it's not an actual job that earns him a living. I believe it's a volunteering position at a school somewhere for football. I speculate, though, when I say school, I don't know if it's like a secondary school, or what do you call them, high school over in America, or if it's an adult team. I genuinely have no idea. Again, though, the laughing emoji, they seem to find it hilarious that people think that they're sexually assaulting their child. Which, in reality, I don't think they're actually laughing about this at all in their personal lives. I think it's probably very hard on them. I think they're trying to sort of present themselves as this sort of hard exterior, thick-skinned, nothing gets to us. We're laughing at these allegations because of how untrue they are. It's like when you're arguing with someone and you're making a great point and they just start fake smiling because it's like in their mind, look, they're wrong. Look how stupid what they're saying is, even though what they're saying is totally reasonable because I'm smiling. How could I possibly feel threatened? Those laughing emoji, that's like monkey language. That's like when a monkey shows his teeth, right? He feels he's scared right now. He's not having a good time. Not a happy bunny. Okay, next I'd like to have a look at another response from the mother regarding the whole situation, this time sort of justifying why she has turned off the comments on her post.
Hey, this is a public service announcement. Because we have trolls and people with fake pages and people that are just disrespectful that would come on my kids' posts and just post disgusting comments on there, I have turned off the comments. Because my kids have social media and I don't want them to be reading these disgusting things you guys are posting on their pictures and their videos. So thank all you trolls, fake pages, frauds, people that don't have nothing better to do with your life but just continuously post negative comments on my kids' posts and their videos. Now I turned off the comments. So like away!
Yeah, I mean, people are very obviously concerned with the whole situation. A lot of people are making shit jokes about it all. A lot of people probably are saying some utterly unhinged things about the children as well. So it's not as though I don't understand this decision. And even people who are very rightfully concerned, a lot of the time were spreading maybe some misinformation, such as the glove thing, for example, which I personally believe is total bullshit. I don't think he was wearing a glove. I am going to show the video now because I kind of have to prove my point here, but if you don't want to see it, then obviously that's fine. I'm bringing it up here. So yeah, you can see his hand at other points in the video that aren't just that one screenshot that's been going around. Like here, his hand is on his son's hand, trying to get the phone off him. Well, allegedly, that's what they claim is going on here. And again, you get a clearer view here. It doesn't look as though there's any sort of glove on his hand at all there. You can see the video playing out. I'll actually have it in motion. And yeah, I really don't see anything there. Okay, but this is the part that everyone's pointing out. There is a little bit of blur on the hand, so it's a little difficult to see. But this bracelet here, which a lot of people are saying is the base of the glove, is a bracelet that is seen in every video where this bloke is on. Like, his left arm always has that bracelet on. Okay, here you go. Here's a way clearer view of everything. The glove would need to be so tight and so thin for him to actually be wearing one that I don't think it's believable. I used to work in a hospital. I've been around gloves that are used for surgery, that are used for procedures. Usually when someone has tattoos on their hands, it's a lot harder to see the tattoos. It wouldn't be showing up that clearly if he had an actual glove on. And I'm not even shitting on people here who believe that there is a glove. Like, I think it's fine to think that, but to make the claim that it is absolute that he has a glove, that it's abundantly clear that he has a glove, I just don't see how you could possibly come to that conclusion unless you're just copying a bunch of other comments that you've seen, which the internet does a lot. Like, the internet has a bad habit of, when something becomes the popular narrative, just believing that and not thinking critically about it. Like, let's really think about this. I don't think he is wearing a glove, and if someone thinks that there is no doubt he's wearing one, I would love for you to prove it. I should also mention, like I did in the last video, that in every angle his hand is in, the indent his ring leaves on his ring finger is completely visible, and that if he was wearing a glove, we would see it around that ring area, unless it was so tight that it was literally restricting his movement or maybe breaking, which neither of those things appear to be happening. Some people have also pointed out wrinkles that are glove-like, which I'll talk more about later, but it's important to remember that it's a rather low-quality phone camera from a fair distance with constant movement. If you look at the son's hand as well, for example, it also looks a little bit weird in this video, so unless he's wearing gloves too, then I'm honestly not seeing it. And this doesn't mean that there was no SA taking place, by the way. It just means that there's no glove, which in my mind does decrease the chance chance that there was SA going on, or that he was, I don't know, inserting his fingers into his son's rectum like so many people are claiming. Again, it's not impossible by any means, but it's less likely. Because if he was wearing a glove, I don't think there'd be any other reasonable explanation other than SA, which is why it's such an important part of the story for so many people. But unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately, I don't think he's wearing one. You can see there as well when he sort of uses his hand to put the covers over him, which that is strange behavior. I'll say that for sure. I don't know what he's doing there or why he's so desperate to have the covers covering him. Like, if he's pantsless cuddling up with his son, it's fucking weird. It's an overstepping of boundaries that absolutely should be there. And it's maniacal, sick behavior. I don't want people to misconstrue me correcting potential misinformation as me defending this family or this dad by any means, because I'm not. I think it's grim what he's doing. I think it's disgusting. But do I think he was engaging in intercourse with these kids? Again, I'm not ruling it out, but more than likely not. We'll get back to this video later when we have a look at the comments of my last video, because there are some things that I'd like to cross-check. But first, I want to talk about one of their children bedwetting, because a child wetting the bed is, in a lot of cases, a sign of SA, and that absolutely adds validity to the claim that there is some sort of SA going on here, because if all these pieces of evidence stack up against each other, then it could paint a bigger picture, for sure.
We're up early this morning because Liwaki wants to wake up early. Is there something you want to say? So you and Royal have to wear a diaper? Huh?
Again, she finds it hilarious, that. But her finding it hilarious and putting it up on the internet, thinking that it's like this wholesome thing, I think it only adds evidence to her potentially not knowing that there's anything going down, if there is anything going down. By the way, if there is actual SA going on in this family from the dad, then her not knowing isn't an excuse by any means. Like, you should be at least responsible enough to see the signs and know what's going down under your own roof. Especially if it's your fucking husband that's doing it to your children. Like, ignorance isn't the best excuse here. And there is a chance that maybe she does know and is just in complete denial. But I think it's a lot more likely that she doesn't know. Again, though, I'm not saying anything in absolutes or definites here. Like, I'm not ruling anything out, and I really want people to understand that. I'd like to see some statistics on the whole children bedwetting being a sign of SA thing, though. So I'm seeing here from the Children's Bowel and Bladder Charity that bedwetting is a medical condition which should be treated in children from age 5. Around 15% of all 7-year-olds regularly wet the bed. Now, I don't know if this kid here is regularly wetting the bed. If it's a one-off case, I think it becomes a lot less incriminating, obviously, but we don't know all the details, which is good, by the way. I don't think it would be good if she outed it every time that her fucking kid wet the bed. I don't even feel comfortable with her making that one video about the kid wetting the bed. Like, why are you making this so public for everyone to see and for your child to be embarrassed? Like, that's all it does, is embarrass your child for the, I guess, viewing pleasure of certain people online. It's fucking grim. However, bedwetting is a genuinely common thing that happens with a lot of children. Again, I don't know how old that kid was, but, you know, 7 years old sounds about right. Maybe younger, give or take. 15% of 7-year-olds regularly wet the bed. Obviously, that percentage will go up the younger that the child is. But it's not as though it becomes 0% as it gets older either. If a child of that age is wetting the bed, obviously there is a good reason to sort of perk your ears up and investigate a little bit and maybe have suspicions that something wrong is going on. But once again, if people are using it as definitive, absolute evidence, there is no other possible explanation that there is SA happening in this family, I think that's incredibly irresponsible. It's fine to think that there is something going on. It's fine to believe that, but to act as though there's no other explanation, I hope you understand why I have a slight problem with that. By the way, I actually do want to clarify, because I don't think you guys actually understand how much I don't like this family. As much as it might be harsh that this guy's being accused of essaying his son, if it's not true, it's actually difficult to feel bad for him, even if that is the case. And that goes for the mother as well. There's no shred of sympathy there for them, even if they end up being innocent. Because this is the price that you pay for exploiting your children in an attempt to become celebrities. Like, you wouldn't go to the school gates and yell at everyone, "Hey everyone, my kid pisses himself every night." So why do it on TikTok? These people aren't thinking straight, and they use the internet incredibly irresponsibly, and they don't care about their children. Before this situation, no one knew who they were. They're not entertaining or special or funny. They just embarrass and exploit their children, and it's absolutely disgusting. So to an extent, even if this dad is innocent, they got not what's coming to them with this insane amount of shit that they're getting. So definitely don't get it twisted. As much as I'm trying to correct potential misinformation here, I do not have any sympathy for this family. I just think misinformation is important to correct because when it becomes easy to spread, it harms everybody. And that includes victims, by the way.
That video of the son and father underneath the blanket together, that sus-ass video, everybody keeps asking, why is the mom not doing anything? Why is she recording this? Why is she laughing? Why would she post? Because she's in on it. She knows exactly what's happening because she's in on it. Everybody keeps asking, why would she post this? It's an ad. She's in on it, and that's an advertisement. You can literally hear what the dad says in the beginning of the video.
Okay, I'm gonna blur out this creator's name because I don't want anyone sending shit or commenting anything really. And obviously I'm about to disagree with what she's saying here, which is no slight on her. There's a lot of people who have this opinion. But if she was in on it, if she knew what was happening, surely she has every reason not to post the video. It's very obvious what is happening to their family now. People knowing that this is a thing that's happening is very much getting to them. Like, they do not like the response that they are getting. What response would they possibly have expected if they are posting a video knowingly of a father essaying their kid? A lot of people are saying that it's an ad or an advertisement. I'm not sure exactly what that's in reference to. I've seen some people imply that she gets some sort of sick thrill from almost getting caught, which a lot of abusers tend to have as well. A lot of really sick and twisted psychopathic individuals have that thrill of like showing the world what they're doing and not being able to get caught, right? Just about skirting away from the law. And maybe that's a thing that's happening here, but again, to act like that's the most possible, most likely explanation is insane in my opinion. Sugar, for fuck's sake, leave the microphone.
You don't even have to have your volume up all the way, although it helps. So if we, the viewers, could hear that, then she for sure heard that before she posted it. She's in on it. For those who listen to the Sasha Riley tapes, remember, Sasha Riley was adopted for the purposes of being trafficked. There are people out there who are trafficking their own goddamn kids. There are people out there who are not only adopting children to traffic them, but are birthing their own children to traffic them. So when people keep asking, why didn't the mom do anything? Why didn't she run in there and start kicking ass? Why would she post this?
I'm really just not a fan of the absolute certainty that so many creators and commenters are coming online with. One thing I do want to make clear as well is that I don't want to just fall into popular narratives and parrot them online without genuinely believing them. I want this channel to be a place where you click on a video of mine and you hear my actual genuine opinion void of all motivation from outside opinions, right? Obviously, everyone's going to have certain biases or be affected by the popular narrative to an extent, but I really try my best not to let that affect me. And contrarian-wise, I mean the exact same thing. I don't take the popular narrative and try to be a contrarian for no other reason than to just have a different opinion. It's like with the DoorDash girl situation a couple videos back, for example, which, by the way, I'm getting a lot of comments now calling me like a dickhead for not going back or changing my opinion on the DoorDash girl because so many people have sort of reined it in or changed their opinion or said they were wrong. I don't take back shit from my last DoorDash girl video. I think everything I said in that video was absolutely correct. And I want to make it clear right now, like I have so many times in this video, that I do not like these fucking people. I think that they fucking suck. I think that the whole family channel shtick that they're trying to go for and become famous from is disgusting. I think embarrassing your children for the sake of the viewing pleasure of people online is fucking disgusting. I think cuddling like that, I think even in the best case scenario that it was just innocent cuddling between a father and a son who was rolling around in the bed with no pants on, I think that's fucking disgusting as well. It's not something that I would ever be comfortable with my family, and it's not something that I know any family to be comfortable with. But that doesn't mean I can come on the internet in good faith and feel great about being absolutely certain, telling all 320,000 of my subscribers that there is no doubt, there is no other possible explanation that this dad was committing SA on the kid, especially because there are so many conflicting opinions. And also because as much as people are calling it SA, I'm not really seeing anyone specify exactly what they think is going on. Like, if someone's gonna disagree with me when I make this video, which I think is completely fine if you disagree with me, right? And I love hearing when people disagree with me in the comments and they phrase it in, you know, understandable and cordial ways. Without doubt, though, I'm gonna get a lot of comments on this video calling me a fucking abuse apologist, defending these fucking freaks. Currently, I believe that those people are unable to see the nuance in which I'm presenting this situation. I trust there are a lot of people who do understand exactly what I mean, and I'm trying to get across here as well. But if you are one of those people who just is completely blindsided and thinks that I am like incredibly irresponsible and defending abuse, tell me exactly what you think is going on in the video, and then prove it. Like, this dad is essaying the son. Okay, it's possible. Sure, I'm willing to admit that. But what was he doing? Was he fingering him? Was he making the son go down on him? Was he literally engaging in penetrative intercourse with him? The fact that I'm not seeing really anyone specify what they believe is actually happening beyond just SA, I think says a lot to me. Because it kind of implies that it isn't clear what's going on in that video. It's just everyone's intuition says that it's something uncomfortable and strange, which I do think, at the very least, it's very uncomfortable and strange. Which is why everyone intuitively thinks that it's uncomfortable and strange. There's a lot of talk about a popping noise and like thrusting motions as well, which we'll get into now because I want to actually have a look at the comments of my last video. Got this comment here. Sorry, but I have to disagree. As an SA survivor, this immediately gave me bad vibes, which makes total sense, by the way, of course. But then there's a reply here. Same, literally undeniably. It's not undeniable. I don't think there's a jury in the world who, upon seeing this video, would sentence this man or find him guilty of sexual assault. It's not normal. It's not justifiable. This family fucking suck. They clearly don't care about their children. They're being incredibly irresponsible with the choices that they make. They're also fucking MAGA, which you all know how I feel about that. You got this here as well. It's pretty straightforward, actually. That's 100% sexual activity under the blanket. That's what it looks like, the way they were moving and thrusting motions. I've watched this video so many times. I'm not seeing any thrusting motions. And again, for people who think that I'm over-exaggerating when people say that there's no other possible explanation, 100% that commenter said. I do not mind, once again, people thinking that there's SA going on in this video. I think that's a perfectly fine conclusion to come to. But 100% is crazy talk. And that pop noise. Danky is extremely naive if he doesn't think that's what that was. Again, that's what was. Like, can someone please tell me exactly what they think was going on here? What was the pop noise? Was it a finger exiting his rectum? Was it him removing his head from his penis? Or was it maybe just the bed creaking?
Hey!
I'm sorry, I just don't believe that that pop noise came from a human being. I think people are reaching here. Not everyone deserves charitability, and saying this is not SA and saying they aren't justifying it when that's what they do the whole video is so fucking insane, and exactly how people get away with this shit. It's literally right in front of his face and he's like, but I don't know. Yet none of us fucking know. I really don't like when I get comments like this, man. There's one commenter here who I think hits the nail on the head. He doesn't outright deny SA is happening. He's basically saying that there's enough reasonable doubt for him to not jump immediately to that conclusion. He makes it clear that he feels something inappropriate is going on, but he has, in his own opinion, debunked the claims of there being a glove and a strange popping sound that people were using as evidence towards there being SA. If anything, he's doing his own due diligence by looking at the evidence presented and forming his own opinion, instead of jumping to the same conclusions everyone else already has. I think we all agree it looks like SA, but at the end of the day, we can't see below the covers, and accusations of SA are extremely serious and should not be made without evidence. The video is definitely suspicious, but unfortunately, no one can say for sure what is happening under those covers. Immediately creepy, you can literally see his arm wrapped around the kid's waist and or hips in the beginning. Let's have a look then.
Hey!
I'm sorry, you guys are grown adults.
We can't see shit, man. We can see his arm, and then we can see an indent here. His arm, his hand is here, it looks like. I don't think the kid's waist is over there. And then he pulls his arm back, so now his arm's here, and the kid's head is over here. And I think the kid's head was there the whole time, because there's no way it went from like down here to up here that quickly and without any sort of blanket movement showing. It's entirely possible that the kid's head was here and they were fighting over his phone, which is over here.
I'm sorry, you guys are grown adults.
Trying to look at his phone.
The phone comes out about 10 seconds in and now they're fighting over that. There's a thread here of people saying that there is no doubt that the guy had a glove on. When I don't know, I feel like I've pretty conclusively shown that he didn't. To say that he had to have one on is crazy. He more likely than not did not have a fucking glove on. How do you explain the ring? How do you explain the indent on his finger from the ring if the glove was on? The glove would be over that indent and you wouldn't see it so clearly. I understand that there are tight-fitting gloves. What are the chances that he's wearing a glove that tight fucking fitting? Not impossible, sure, but definitely not 100% either. But yeah, I'll be honest, the most of the comments on that video is comments like this. Bro, it's not difficult to tell what is happening. This is clearly SA. Let's stop with that right now. I fucking hate comments like that, man. There's nothing clear about this. There's nothing clear about this. If there is, tell me what exactly is happening and how you can prove it. Like, I would love that. If someone can genuinely comment telling me exactly what they are accusing him of and then prove undeniably that it's happening, then obviously I'll change my opinion, I'll walk everything back, and I'll put a fucking statement out. But from what I'm seeing, there's nothing clear about any of it. Also, one thing I've not addressed in this video is the "oh, you better take that" thing at the start of the video, which I haven't addressed because a bunch of comments I got said that they were hearing different things. There's this comment here, they heard "hi there, princess." This comment here said, "yeah, you better do that." Another one that said, another one with "hey there, princess." Another one with "hey there, princess." "Hey there, princess" is being heard a lot by a lot of people. So I can't even be as definitive as I was in the last video when it comes to what was being said at the start. Now, one thing I definitely do think is suspicious, like I said before, is how quiet they were and how he was whispering whatever the fuck he was saying at the start of the video. Because if you're play wrestling with someone that you love, usually it's loud, you're laughing, it's a joyful moment. You're not whispering quietly in like this breathy voice. I think that shit is very suspicious. And this is what I mean. I fucking hate this family. I hate the mom. I hate the dad. They suck. They suck. I fucking despise them. But I can't let my disdain for these people cloud my genuine opinion on what's going on here. And my genuine opinion on what's going on here is that there is reasonable doubt that there was not genuine sexual activity going down here. Danky, I feel like the more videos you make, the more it makes me feel like you're almost victim blaming in a way. It's always, there's no proof, so it's hard to tell. Who knows? The kind of language is triggering to victims. We believe victims here. It's totally fine to believe victims, but there's no victim that has actually come out with a story that is to be believed here. Or at least there's no victim of this guy, of this father. Or maybe there is a victim, but there's no victim that has come out with a story that we need to believe. Like, no one has come out with any personal experience about this guy, which I'm not saying that makes him innocent at all, by the way. But what I am saying is that the whole believe the victim thing doesn't really apply here because there's nothing to be believed. All we have is a 25-second video and a bunch of really shit responses. If the kid came out and detailed his experience with this guy and said that he was being SA'd, absolutely, he would be a victim and we should believe him. But he's not done that. And I'm not blaming him for that. I'm not saying he has to do that. And I'm not saying that makes the dad innocent either. I'm not criticizing him for not doing so, but I am saying that he hasn't done so. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I say I hope you enjoyed, but to be honest, I'm fully aware of the cataclysmic amount of shit I'm going to get for this video, many of which won't have even watched the whole thing. But for those who are still around, I'm practically begging you guys to try and understand that I am not this fucking defender of incest or SA. That's not what I'm trying to do here. All I'm trying to do is look and perceive the situation with the nuance that I believe that it deserves and that I believe no one else is treating it with. I think there are so many people that are just parroting the popular opinion without any kind of critical thought. And I really don't want to do that unless it's something that I genuinely, honestly believe. And I hope you can respect that even if you disagree with what I'm saying. But either way, if you did enjoy the video, then I'll see you in the next one, I guess.